Hey guys, like it or not, some drama has made its way to Chess Vibes. So there was a situation that happened on the most recent live stream that I think a lot of you are probably aware of, but if not, I'm going to catch you up to speed. And then I'm going to be reading an email that I received that goes in detail about the situation. Okay, so for everybody who doesn't know what happened, in the last live stream, I lost my first game in the speed run since I had started to a 1400, and I think it was 1480 something rated player at the time. And I thought that they were cheating. Okay, and I said that during the stream. We kind of talked about it, and I did report that person for cheating. Now, I'm going to show you this game here in just a minute so you know what I'm talking about in case you didn't catch that stream. But I received an email from a friend of the person who was accused of cheating, basically saying that they weren't cheating. Okay, and I'm going to go through that email. There's some things that I want to touch on and talk about. So get ready. Now, before we look at the email, let's just go briefly through the game so you understand the context, okay? So this was the game. They played Age of Bava London, and they expanded on the king side here, kind of gained a bunch of space, chased me back. I was going to relocate my knight over here, which I did. And the kind of the interesting moment in the game was right around here. I played knight to f5 and e4 happened. Now, e4 looked to me like white was losing a pawn here. Okay, I have two attackers, only one defender, and even though there's a bishop and a queen lined up, there's no discover checks from the bishop, which is kind of what I said in the stream. So this is what happened. They took me, I took them. And while I was kind of explaining this, they go, there's no discover checks, I'm fine, there's nothing to worry about here, I'm just up a pawn. Bam. Knight to b5 happens. An amazing move. And basically, it's pairing the fact that there's a threat here with the idea that I can't actually take the knight, because then there is a check, and I do lose my queen, like I just mentioned, okay? So a very surprising move, and this is kind of the part of the game that made me suspicious, right? This happened, and some of the time usage here, which we'll come back to in a little bit, was very suspicious. And I ended up giving up my queen for the two pieces, trying to fight on, but white continued to play best moves and pretty much just destroyed me for the rest of the game. Okay, I tried to do something here with my knight and bishop, but really it was over. Okay, that's the game. That's what happened. And like I said, at the end of the game, I did say that I felt like the person was cheating, and I reported them. Okay, so with that in mind, with that context, let's jump over here, and I want to show you this email. Okay, and it says the story behind Galadriel 97. That's the person whose game that I just showed you. This is from Victor. I don't know how to pronounce that last name, but Victor. Okay. Hello, Nelson. Galadriel 97 is a friend of mine. I'm his chess teacher at university. He sent me the VOD of your climb on chess.com yesterday because he's being harassed by your viewers after you accused him of cheating. All right, I want to talk about this for a second. And this kind of makes me sad to hear this. But regardless of what we decide, whether he was cheating or not cheating, played a good game, played a bad game, played a suspicious game or not, whatever, we should not be harassing this person. So I would kindly ask you guys, please don't message this person. Please don't say anything to them, whether or not we think they're cheating. That's just not cool. And yeah, I really was disappointed to see this. I thought that, people would be nice about it, but please just don't do that, right? We don't need to do that, okay? If he was cheating and chess.com agrees with me and shuts down the account, that's fine. We don't need to mess with that, all right? So please let's just not do that. I've looked through the game, and to be honest, I probably would have reported him as well, solely on the fact that bishop takes b5 took him 12 seconds to play. He said he was turning on his rice cooker at that moment. Of course, I cannot confirm that. All right, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This is a weird statement. Okay, so let's jump back to the game for a minute here. Let me go over here to chess playing. Let's go over here. The moment that he's referring to is right here. So after knight b5, and I want you to pay attention to the time usage here. So we see about 14 seconds. And then after this, we see another 12 seconds before he takes bishop b5. That's what the person's talking about. I would definitely agree this was suspicious as well. Because if you're going to play knight to b5, you have to see the point. You have to see that that's the idea. Right? Otherwise, why would you play knight b5? You're just going to give up a piece? It doesn't make sense, right? So yeah, that's kind of weird. Now, he was turning on his rice cooker. So just to be clear, the person I'm playing is a 1400 rated who is multitasking. He's like cooking some food in the middle of the game that he's playing against me, while at the same time finding every single brilliant move and just destroying me. It just feels weird. That's all I'm going to say. It just feels weird. It could be true. That maybe that's what happened. Maybe this person is like the next Magnus Carlsen and he's on the way up. And I'm just one of the, the bozos that's getting beat in the way. I don't know. I just find that statement kind of weird. All right. But hey, I'm not going to say that he's lying. I'm just saying, from my viewpoint, that just sounds weird. All right, let's keep going. The fact that you said his move G4 in the opening was suspicious is not true at all. That piece of theory we were studying in our university course. I don't know what university course he's talking. Like, what does that exactly mean? Like, are there like classes where you like learn opening theory? Like, that's new for me. But okay, I get it. You're studying it. It's theory from Jobava and Naroditsky. Okay, this is fair. This is a fair point. I don't know a lot of theory in the Jobava, so maybe that's just a normal thing that you do. That's fair, and that's totally fine. I get that. The follow-up E4 is pretty common idea in these types of positions. I agree with that as well. Okay, E4. Let's go back to the board for a second. Going back here. So he was talking about this part, right? These pawns kind of pushing forward. I think I said in the live stream it seemed weird to me, but that makes sense. Okay, you studied the theory and that's something that you do. Fine. Again, here E4, it does seem like a logical move. It just looked like a mistake, except for the fact that knight to B5 was actually there all along. But okay, the idea of breaking in the center, sure, it makes sense. Let's keep going. Knight B5 is a rather impressive find for a 1500. Galadriel explained to me that he found it because we were practicing a lot of advanced French theory lately, which is true, and he remembered the idea where you cannot take the poisoned pawn on d4. He said it was really lucky because he thought he really blundered his pawn. Okay, this kind of makes sense if that's really what was happening, so I'll just to show you guys, let me jump over here and pull up a new window real quick. So what he's talking about is in the French, e4, e6, d4, d5, the advanced variation. Everybody starts attacking the d4 pawn. Black's attacking, white's defending. Queen comes out, everybody's lined up. And you could play this move bishop d3. And it looks like you have only 2 defenders and there's 3 attackers. Okay, and if black wants, they can take it. The problem is that at the end of everything, the queen is lined up there and then the bishop can come over. Okay, that's what he's talking about. You win the queen, which is true. And maybe they did study that. Now, again, I'm just like, who am I playing? Like, what kind of 1400 is studying theory in all these different openings, but they're rated 1,000 in Blitz, and then they're like cooking rice in the middle of the game? I mean, I don't know. It just feels weird. It just feels weird to me. All right, but again, I could be totally wrong, and maybe I'm making a fool of myself saying this, but I'm just telling you, like, from my point of view, it just seems weird. Let's keep going. So maybe that's what happened. He saw it because of that. Okay. Knight b5, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Castles is a fairly normal move in my opinion because it threatens mate in 1, so it makes sense to not take the pawn on e5 immediately. Queen c3 also seems like a very human move because it moves the queen away from the d file where your rook is placed. Simultaneously pins your bishop on c5, threatening to win it with b4. After that, the game is basically over. It's not worth analyzing anymore. Okay. Here's the thing. After Stockfish tells you like what the best move is, it's always easy to justify and be like, oh yeah, that was an obvious move. It always is, right? Whenever you play a cheater, that's kind of how it feels. It feels like, man, I'm a terrible player and all the moves that my opponent's playing are so obvious. It's kind of how it feels, right? But normally when you play people, that just doesn't happen. So, am I saying he's cheating? No, I don't know, okay? I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, it's easy to justify these moves after the fact, and that doesn't really mean too much to me, okay? So let's keep going. Like I mentioned, the only really suspicious moment was him taking 12 seconds to play bishop takes b5, and I find it weird that he didn't play g5 immediately after you played h5. He took 22 seconds for that. We've discussed that in our lesson, but maybe he mixed something up. Additionally, he usually plays this slow. He basically never plays blitz in real life and sticks mostly to slower time formats. So this is interesting because if you check his account, he plays a whole bunch of blitz on chess.com. So I don't know why he plays on chess.com, but not in real life. And he's only 1,000 rated in blitz, which kind of is weird to me. Like this guy is studying advanced French theory. He's studying Jobava London theory. He's clearly got some crazy tactics in his mind, knight b5 and all this stuff. But how are you struggling to get past 1,000 on blitz? Like, what? Like, I don't know. Again, the whole thing just seems weird to me. But you guys can let me know what you think. Maybe I'm crazy. And maybe an outside perspective can tell me, Nelson, you're just, you're looking at it the wrong way. I don't know. All right, let's keep going. He told me he purchased chess.com premium only 2 weeks ago. Okay, so it makes sense for him to not cheat. There are even cheaters with premium accounts, but I'm just stating what he told me. All right, fine. He's beaten a bunch of 1,500 rated players in classical formats and their home city. He's drew 1,750. That's great, but that doesn't, I mean, I don't, just because you draw against 1750 doesn't mean that you should all suddenly like, oh yeah, I can just play like Stockfish all the time. It's just not how it works. In my opinion, it's entirely possible that he just got lucky and the stars aligned. Okay, this actually, I think maybe is what happened. That maybe is what happened. He just did get kind of lucky and things just really worked out. That's possible. Maybe if you could clear that up in your next stream or YouTube video, we would really be grateful, because right now he feels down, getting his win tarnished by accusations and harassment from your viewers. That's really unsportsmanlike. I have to agree with Victor here. Again, like I mentioned at the start, please, guys, don't message this person. You don't need to say anything to them. Chess.com will make the decision that they think is right. They have algorithms that are very good at that kind of stuff, and so we'll let that handle it. I could be wrong, just because, and even if I'm right, which I don't know if I am, but even if I'm right, you don't need to go message this person and harass them, right? That's not cool. So let's not do that. If you want, I could hook you up with his email and you could discuss the issue together. Maybe you could. We're not doing this. This is not going to turn into a Hans Niemann thing where it lasts like a year. Like, this is going to be my one video on this. I talked about it. Whatever happens, it doesn't really matter. We're going to move forward with the rating climb. We're going to keep learning chess. And P.S., if you want to discuss this, you can freely show this email, which I am. So let me know what you guys think. Am I way off? Is it still suspicious? What do you think? Feel free, say what you want to say in the comments, but don't message the person on chess.com. Okay? That's not cool. Thank you guys for your time. And yeah, I mean, I still don't really know what's going on. So, oh, by the way, as of time of recording this video, chess.com has not closed his account. Okay? Now, it's still super early because it just happened yesterday. So who knows what's going to happen in the future, but I just wanted to let you know right now, it's still active. So anyway, thank you guys. And like I said, will probably be the only video that I do on this. We're going to just get back to the regular chess stuff after this. But anyway, stay sharp, play smart, and take care.